Are you shocked at the fact that you're donating a substantial amount of money to facilitate Trump's election? Is that something you would have believed in the realm of possibility, say, 5 years ago?
So what's been reported in the media is simply not true. So
okay.
I'm not donating $45 million a month to Trump. And no, what I have done is I have created a PAC or super PAC, whatever you want to call it, which I simply call it the America PAC. And
you want to tell everybody who's listening what a PAC is, because people
it's a political action committee.
Yeah.
It's an organization. It's a legal entity that can receive funding. That funding can then be used to help with political campaigns.
Yep. Okay. And how does that
like
differ from a direct donation? There are specific limits on direct donations to candidates, and the PAC system is the way of putting a political structure in place that sort of runs parallel with the formal political system. And
yeah, you can donate money directly to candidates. That amount is fairly small.
Yeah.
And you can donate a lot more money to a political action committee or a super PAC. There are various rules that govern the operation of PACs and super PACs, but it certainly allows for a lot more money in the system than would otherwise be possible. And these are used, to be clear, on the Democrat and Republican side.
Yes.
And I actually think that...
So it's an open playing field on the PAC side.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you hoping to accomplish with this? And what's the PAC called?
It's called the America PAC.
America PAC. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's easy to remember.
It's very easy to remember.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be sort of a hyper-partisan PAC. It's actually the core principles of this America PAC the intent is to promote the principles that made America great in the first place. So I wouldn't say that I'm, for example, MAGA, of Make America Great Again. I think America is great. I'm more MA, Make America Greater. And there's some core pillars, core values that have, I think, made America great.
Could you elucidate those?
Yeah. So one of them is being a meritocracy. Or maybe as much of a meritocracy as possible, such that you get ahead as a function of your hard work and your skill, and nothing else. Yeah. Which is why I would be opposed to, for example, things like DEI.
Adrian Wooldridge documented the fact that the alternative to meritocracy historically is nepotism and dynasty.
Absolutely.
It's not equity.
It's not equity, correct.
It's nepotism and dynasty.
Exactly.
Right? So that's very much worth.
And these men are very smart.
They are geniuses. This is like two genius level people.
And they don't agree with it.
They believe that people should work hard, and if you work hard, you can be successful. I don't see how hard that is.
I'm still lost on why people act like the ending of affirmative action and DEI is like gonna hurt people of color. I mean,
it's racist.
I just think, like, do you think that you cannot succeed without these things in place? Do you think that we'll see in 2024 people of color lose opportunities because there's initiatives that have been taken out of place to specifically put them in position? Like,
they think so, yeah.
Is that what people believe?
Yeah.
I just think, like, in 2024, based on my experience in life, I've met plenty of people who are not white, who are smart, successful, and capable on their own merits.
Yeah.
So to me, that's offensive.
But it could be DEI as the reason, though.
But I just don't believe that, bro, because, like, I just don't believe that. People can find a way to succeed. This is America. Yeah. There's always a way.
I'm a black man, damn it.
It's not equity, correct.
It's nepotism and dynasty.
Exactly.
Right? So that's very much worth knowing. Okay. Yeah. Meritocracy has its price because it's a severe judge, but the alternative is nepotism and aristocracy or dynasty. Okay, so meritocracy.
Clearly, America, it's not like America's been purely a meritocracy, but it has been more of a meritocracy than any other place.
Which is good. That's good. That's good.
Which I regard as good.
Yeah.
Promoting meritocracy, promoting freedom to operate, meaning the least amount of government intervention possible. We want, and this is, I think, important to fight because the natural tendency over time, almost like entropy, is that the hand of government gets heavier every year.
Yep.
The laws and regulations accumulate every year, and these laws and regulations are immortal.
That's the evil uncle of the king. A very old story. Very old story. The Egyptians were wrestling with that problem 4,000 years ago.
Yeah, so you have to have you have to really take an active role in reducing the number of laws and regulations. Otherwise, as more and more laws and regulations are passed, eventually everything becomes illegal. And you start getting into these Orwellian situations where
then everyone's poor and miserable.
Where action A is illegal and action B is illegal, and there isn't anything you can do that is legal. Take an example of some lawfare that was leveled against SpaceX, for example. We were told for many years that we could not hire anyone who was not a permanent
Yeah,
resident.
yeah,
They had to
remember
be.
that.
Well, so SpaceX develops advanced rocket technology, which is considered an advanced weapons technology because it's a core part of like intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Yeah.
So there are only a handful of things in the sort of highest level of weapon technology, and rocket technology is one of those because we could deliver a payload.
Sorry, man. Looking at that got me thinking about the Trump story. He said, "This is the little pipes." Can we?
Laying straight back down. How they came
I
up?
can see him looking at the.
Says the coolest thing I've ever
That's
seen.
amazing.
You did this?
You
How
know,
long
he's a,
it
he's a
took you?
smart guy.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had to be-
remember that.
Well, so SpaceX develops advanced rocket technology, which is considered an advanced weapons technology because it's a
Amazing.
core part of like intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Yeah.
So there are only a handful of things in the sort of highest level of weapon technology, and rocket technology is one of those because we could deliver a payload and basically bomb anywhere on Earth,
Right.
from anywhere on Earth. So I was told in no uncertain terms by the government that if we hired anyone who is not a permanent resident of the United States, they had to have either a green card or a citizen, that I would go to prison
Oh, yeah.
because the presumption if somebody's not a
Real
permanent.
quick, boss, but that sounds like that's kind of needed though, because it could be a guy immigrant from
Yeah,
somewhere.
he's explaining.
But like,
and-
remember, like a German made the atomic bomb. So if you looking at it in that aspect, why do you need some
But
scientists
yeah,
from
you
a?
say exactly get the best people in the world on it.
I feel like you need a permanent resident because that way they can't take the information and ballistics and all the stuff, the sensitive information.
They could
that
put them
you're
on
using
contract.
to develop this technology and take it to their permanent place of residency, and then they
government
sell
spies.
it and use it
Or they
in a
could be-
negative
yeah.
way against the people that
Exactly.
develop it. So
Yeah.
to
I
me,
feel like
that
they could put
seems
them on
like a
contract though.
necessary.
They
what?
could put them on contract to stop them from doing
what's
that.
gonna happen when the contract's up?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
Just
think
leave.
that's not no contract up type of situation. That's
Brother,
like
you
some,
leave the job.
Let's let him explain why they did that. Let's let him explain.
Permanent resident is that they will leave the United States and take the rocket technology from SpaceX
Exactly
to,
what I just
potentially to
said.
countries that would cause harm to the
Exactly
United
what I
States.
just
Pretty
said. I
solid
knew it.
reasoning, I think.
I knew it.
And then a few years ago, the Biden administration decided to sue SpaceX for failing to hire asylum seekers.
Right, right. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
We're told on the one side that if we hire anyone who's not a permanent resident, we go to prison. Now we're told if we don't hire asylum seekers, who not people who've been granted asylum,
Seekers.
seekers, they aspire to asylum, they're therefore not a permanent resident, but if we don't hire them, we also go to prison.
The purpose of
What?
being
No,
damned if you
That's
do and
insane.
damned if you don't is to make damn sure that you're
That's
damned.
insane.
Correct.
So that's a kind of out.
that seemed to be
They
insane
sued them?
and unfair. And why did the Biden administration? Because they can only do so many big cases per year. There's a finite number they can.
Yeah.
Why would the Justice Department, of all the injustices that occur, pick this as one of their biggest cases?
Yeah. Why? Why do you think?
I think they probably had I don't know, there was some lawfare, I think. It was
What
I think it was
you're
political.
unhappy
I think it
about
was,
the relationship to you?
I don't know all the things, but this is before supporting Trump or anything like that.
Yeah.
In fact, I supported Biden, and before that, Hillary, and before that, Obama. So
That's why I was asking if this comes as a shock.
I don't know if it could just be random. It could be, like, they didn't tell us, why pick us, why do such a crazy lawsuit.
Random's a bad. Even if it is random, that's still bad.
It's still
I mean,
bad.
it's just a marker of incompetence. But if it's not random, it seems to be highly unlikely to be. Random.
Yes, and also why attack SpaceX and not, say, Boeing or Lockheed? I think part of it
Wow.
might be that SpaceX is not unionized, and the Democratic Party in the U.S. is fundamentally controlled by the unions.
wow.
That I'm speculating
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
but since we're not unionized, we're, I think, a very happy workforce, and I'm out there on the factory floor. I don't see if people are happy. It's a good vibe.
They're engaged in something ridiculously exciting.
It's
At
cool.
minimum, that's not nothing. People can go a
Sure.
long ways if they're part of a project that's aiming at Mars. Let's say that's definitely aiming up. That's really exciting. That's a real opportunity for people.
Yeah.
What do you think of Trump?
I'm not gonna. I don't subscribe to cults of personality.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really just we've got a choice of administrations, and we have to pick one.
Yeah.
And I think there are flaws on both sides.
What do you think his flaws are? He's a complicated person, and I've been trying to suss him out and figure him out because some of the things that look like flaws might be advantages in disguise. He seems to me to be pretty good at standing up to psychopathic bullies, for example.
Sure.
And that's a useful skill, and it's not easy. You have to be a bit of a monster to manage that. And it isn't obvious to me how many of even the divisive idiosyncrasies of Trump are the mirror image of his capacity to stand up to bullies. Right? That's a tough call, man. So you've obviously decided to lay your efforts down on the side of the Trump administration in the forthcoming election. And so
it's really, I think we need a change of administration. I think many years ago, I think probably the Democratic Party was the party of meritocracy and of personal freedom.
Yeah.
They used to be the free speech party.
Yeah.
And these days they seem to be the censorship party under the guise of hate speech. So weirdly, in my view, the Republican Party is actually the party of, that's the meritocracy party. Because the Democrats are also promoting DEI, which is really just another form of racism and sexism.
It's the most pernicious form, I think, actually.
So it's anti-meritocratic. DEI is fun.
I wouldn't say we know geniuses, but we agreeing with everything Elon is right now.
I just believe in
No
meritocracy.
cap.
Like Salo said, we're not geniuses. We found a way. We all come from completely different backgrounds, completely different places, and we all found a way. I'm just saying, there's
I just
always a
think
way.
Some of this shit though, they overcomplicate it and it's extremely simple, and we just look at it for what it is.
Some simple.
Hey, I can think for myself.
I think
Well, that
when,
doesn't
they,
sound
when,
right.
they, when they put it in the media and it's something that someone hasn't heard of, right? And someone presents it to you as something and you don't know what it is,
And they say
you're
it's
gonna
smart.
believe it's what they presented it to you as because you don't know
Yeah.
what it was. So that's your first introduction to it. And when they tell you, oh, you need this, you need this, you need this, and you don't know what it is, and then they tell you, oh, they're trying to take it away, it's bad, it hurts you, and you have no idea what it was, you're gonna believe that.
It sounds like the COVID shot you just described.
Bro, they do that with everything. They do the COVID shot, the DEI, Project 2025. Guys, also, I've actually had this argument with some people, some older people, who think Project 2025 is just like a staple that's gonna destroy our lives. That is not from the Trump administration. If you go on the Trump administration website, Agenda 47 is what Trump administration is trying to do. It don't say anything about Project 2025.
That's crazy.
And that's what it is.
So
bro.
we're Trump 24? Yeah, it's the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah,
that's
the Heritage
crazy.
Foundation. That's not Trump. And people keep saying, "Oh, those are Trumpites. They're under Trump. They introduced it too early. Now everyone's scared." Come on, bro. Stop making stuff up, bro. We have to go with what we see to be fact. I mean, they're presenting that as fear mongering. It's all fear mongering. There's always some sort of fear mongering in every political system that
Yeah.
I've seen since 2016.
Definitely.
It's literally
Around
always
the
some
world.
sort of fear mongering.
I just want to know.
At what point do we wake up and we just start picking on the administration?
Well, if the man himself, who y'all said made it, said this is, I don't know, I know nothing of this.
I
Well,
explained-
then damn it,
Go ahead.
that nips it in the bud.
They're like, oh, he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. Come on, dog.
So I'm lying about my own idea.
Like, come on, dog.
No. My friends be texting me, Project 2025 is real, all capital letters. Nothing pisses me off more than that.
I'm just lost. Like, we're young people, right? We all are 1 year removed from college. We're 1 year of being in the real world, paying bills, seeing how everything affects you and your life. And I just feel like right now, in the current state of America and economically, the bar of opportunity is getting further and further out of reach. You can't buy a home. Inflation is high. You buy a car. You try to do anything. There's all these separate barriers to accomplish anything. Like, at what point do we stop having the government hand us shit until you eat the shit and we wake up and say, I don't want that. I mean, I want to have a house. I want to have a family. I want to have things. I want to be able to own a business if I wanted to. I want to have opportunity. That's what
Everybody
America's
see it.
built on.
Everybody see it. Because even Michael Rappaport, that was just so, he hates Trump so much. He was talking about the mortgage rates, the car notes.
Everyone knows this.
And he's in Hollywood. He rich.
And
So
people
how you
seem
think
to
that fits
think-
a regular American?
And if America is not the land of opportunity, which a lot of people claim it to be, they claim it to be a failing nation that's racist and all that. If that was true, if that was even remotely true, had any ground to stand on, why are we seeing millions of immigrants from non-white countries and white countries all over the world, immigrants from all over the world trying to come to America? Because they want opportunity. And we have an administration that is putting them first.
What is Kamala policies? Like, I haven't heard
She's
one
pro-
policy.
She's pro-immigration.
I understand that, but
It's the same as
I
the
ain't
Biden
seen it on paper.
administration.
I just
She's
want
on
to
that
see it on
administration.
paper. I ain't seen nothing on
I'm
paper.
just going
I
off what her
haven't
role
either,
was in the Biden administration.
I understand.
She was supposed to be in charge of immigration. She has said since 2017, illegal immigrants are not criminals. She is for illegal immigration. She was supposed to secure the border. We have over almost reportedly 20 million illegal people coming into the country. They're breaking the law, guys. I mean, me as a black man, and I'm not going to pull the race card here. My mom's a lawyer. I grew up, my mama told me, if you commit a crime, you will be punished harder than your counterparts. You will go to jail longer than your counterparts. Don't commit a crime. She told me that every day. She told me, you go to jail, don't call me. Of course, I was gonna call my mama. Of course, I'll call my daddy, somebody. But anyways, we know that if we commit a crime, we're gonna go to jail. Why would I be in favor of someone illegally breaking the law, and getting away with it just because they need a better opportunity? Well, what about my opportunity?
And you got paid for it.
I was born here. I worked my whole life to get to this point, and now the bar of opportunity is getting further out of reach, and I'm watching people get a free handout, and I got people that look like me screaming about some damn reparations. Tax dollars going to give elite people who broke the law literal reparations to live in America for free, and I'm supposed to be in favor of that. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to sound like a racist, xenophobic, whatever the labels y'all gonna throw at me.
He the man that's gonna speak against immigration. When they say, hey, bring the boy, we gonna put ties up there for women's rights and help for immigration.
I'm just lost, y'all. Like, I'm just looking at life like at what point do I get what I work for to get to this point?
We in America, we already
the job market, the jobs are dwindling. Opportunity is dwindling. Everything is the window of opportunity is getting smaller and smaller and further out of reach.
It is. But we still gotta look at it on the bright side because we could be in another country.
We're still in America. We're still in America. But
Yeah.
I want opportunity to be attainable. I want, if you work for something, you can get it. I don't understand
You know,
why
it's getting
that's
further
such a
away,
crazy
but
thing.
that's definitely still
real
there. It's more
American
than
dream
still
right
there.
there.
Well, that's
More
just,
than
it's
still
just, I'm just saying, y'all, it's just scary to me. Like, I know I dreamed about being in this position, and I also dream about the future. I want to have a family and safe neighborhood and a nice house and a nice car and all these things that I want to work for. I want to go to work and get and achieve these things. And it's getting further out of reach.
The problem is, it's like every country gonna have problems, but these people are creating problems.
Oh, they're creating
nothing.
They're
It's
creating
like-
it under
that's
the
what's
guise.
insane.
They're creating it under the guise of helping people, and people are gonna eat that up because they want to seem virtuous. They want to seem
My
good.
bad, Elon. My bad. Let Elon.
Yeah, let's let him ride.
My bad,
Sorry,
Elon.
y'all.
You know.
I just get riled up when I talk about this.
I told you, you the immigration
I really
man.
believe this.
You
It's
the
not,
immigration
it's not even
man.
just immigration. It's just everything. But to me, that is just something that we have covered that is disproportionately affecting millions of people.
Of racism and sexism.
It's the most pernicious form, I think, actually.
So it's anti-meritocratic. DEI is fundamentally anti-meritocratic.
It insists on dividing people by groups
Right,
as
so-
the primary, what would you say, conceptual distinction between individuals.
Yes,
Race,
in fact, I think-
ethnicity, sex.
I think the Democratic Party is stoking division.
I think the evidence for that's clear. All of this group identity
Right.
nonsense has made things much more. I can see it in Toronto. When my kids grew up in Toronto downtown, I would say they were race, ethnicity, and gender blind.
Yeah,
They had an unbelievably diverse range of friends, and no one cared.
sure.
And even in Toronto, that started to shift around with this emphasis on group division. It's a really ugly thing to see. So yeah, not good, not good.
Yeah, so my view is that at this point in the United States, the Republican Party is more in line with a meritocracy and with personal freedom. So
I've never had a conservative, many times with my left-wing friends, let's say, they'd refuse to talk to someone. Me included, definitely. Because I've invited prominent Democrats to come on my podcast in great numbers for a very long time, and I've got like absolutely nowhere with that. They'll talk to me in private. They will not talk to me in public. And so that's never happened.
They're
on the
afraid of being
Republican
shunned.
side. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% that's what they're afraid of.
Sure.
Definitely. And they've told me that. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
But that's never happened on the Republican side. I found it much easier because I've talked to a lot of Democrats and a lot of Republicans. And I found it much, much easier to talk to the Republicans. And that is somewhat of a shock. I wouldn't have necessarily expected that.
Yeah, and I should be clear that it's not like I think the Republican Party is flawless. It certainly isn't. It's got its issues. There are extremists within the Republican Party that I don't agree with. But one has, if it's a two-party system, essentially, you got to pick one or the other. And so you weigh the good and the bad. And my opinion is that
And you flip the coin.
we need that the country would be better off with the Republican administration than a Democrat.
Trump was pretty good at not having wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is actually quite a big thing. It's really a big thing. And what he did with the Abraham Accords, that was a miracle, I think.
No,
He
absolutely.
should have got the Nobel Prize for that.
I think there's something to be said that America needs a strong leader.
That's crazy.
And with
And after
you
he
have the
leaves,
perception of strength.
Wow.
Now, you have to admire Trump after getting shot with blood streaming down his face. It could have been a second shooter, who knows? Nonetheless, was fist pumping, fight, after being shot.
Yep.
And this is not.
He's an ornery guy. He's funny too.
Yes, and he's brave. He has courage. This is instinctual courage.
Yeah.
It's not calculated. It's not some arranged event. It's in the moment.
You could see that then, because that was not a time when you're
You
going
see true courage in the moment.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And if you want a leader who's going to deal with some very tough cookies out there.
He is a good in the moment person. When it's all, he ain't got to go get no writers. He ain't got to have no teleprompter. It's happening right now.
Natural, bro.
Yeah.
And
Deal with a Putin.
My bad. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen to a lot of leaders. I mean, some people might go in there with, something they already had in mind to say to them. But Trump going in there probably just straight off the dome, and this what it is, and that's
this is what we're gonna
happen.
do. This is what we're gonna do.
And that's what you want. And some people can't, if you can't handle a rebuttal against something, that can cause some crazy shit to happen. You got to be able to be a cool guy and just, have some charisma in these type of situations, man. I think that's really why he won. Like seeing those clips we seen, people love that. You know, nobody wants a square ass guy. Ain't no telling where the country
He's not gonna let
going.
you bully him at all.
But that's what some people saying. Y'all really think this is a good president? Because people want a square president.
I mean, I don't know.
But they don't know that. They don't want that. That's what they think they want because that's what they're told to want. But knowing damn well that's not going to put you in the best position with any other countries or any
that have weapons.
You got to have
strong
people.
Strong people leading these countries who are damn near dictators and stuff like North Korea. And you think, oh man, let's just.
You got to be cool.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. We had a strong leader under Trump. We weren't at war. The economy was good. The investment market was good. The inflation was down. Gas was down. I don't know how the president controls gas prices. I know that's a touchy subject with some, but I don't know. If we just compare the last 4 years to the previous 4 years before that, until COVID hit, Trump administration was doing well.
You know why the gas went up? Is because we stopped drilling and trying to,
I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for that.
That's a very touchy subject.
But I'm just looking at the facts here.
I don't see how.
I'm just looking at the facts here.
And I think we stopped selling oil to actually Russia too, and they stopped that. So it was just money, just dead money everywhere.
I feel like rather than focus on like the real issues that we're facing at hand, Democrats prop up a lot of social issues and they kind of overblow them and use fear mongering to paint the other side as a bad, like socially, this will affect you this way, this way, this way, this way. Well, how will it affect our lives? Like, let's really talk about that. Like, a lot of the social issues, I think, are not going to change on either way.
What made me stop arguing with people that agree with the left, man, is my friend told me, this is why the oil stuff is kind of like a touchy one. I said, so you're telling me if gas is higher under Biden, it's Trump's fault. But when Trump get in office, the gas is lower under Trump, and it's Biden's the reason why the gas is lower because the gas is lower. You see what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I was like, bro, I can't argue with you then. You said, the reason why Trump's gas was low is because of Joe Biden. But the reason why Biden's gas was high is because of Trump.
That doesn't make sense.
No,
It's always if something falls short in one administration, they're gonna blame the previous administration for their shortcomings.
So crazy, bro. You can't.
I just noticed that. I mean,
you were in office.
It's just way too
nobody else.
It's just way too many issues going on in America.
Well, the reason why gas was so cheap is because we had abundance of it. We don't have abundance of it.
And Biden drained our oil reserves.
Hey, I heard that somewhere in Texas, they got like one of the top 3 oil firms in the world.
They stopped
somewhere
it.
In Odessa.
Yeah. West Texas is an oil
bro,
haven.
like what? And they stopped it?
They stopped some of the natural gas companies.
They stopped a lot of natural gas.
That's Trump's fault. Yeah, okay.
I don't know, guys.
You remember that Asian dude told us.
was not a time when you're
You
going
see true courage in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want a leader who's going to deal with some very tough cookies out there, who's going to deal with a Putin, Kim Jong-un, or
China.
Yeah, China, and they'll think twice about messing with Trump.
Yeah.
And poor Biden can't make it up the stairs, and obviously he's stepped out of the race. But nobody's going to be intimidated by Biden. It's impossible. But I think they will be intimidated by a guy who was fist pumping after getting shot.
We saw that, I think, in his administration.
Yeah.
Because peace did reign, and that's a bit of empirical evidence.
Man, this is 2 genius level people talking, agreeing. Like, even if you're not political, you can acknowledge the fact that, okay, both of these people are very smart. It's proven with IQ tests, with the way they teach, with their success.
Yeah.
Their body of work speaks for itself.
It does. So Republican or Democrat? Because Elon just said he voted for the last 3
Obama,
presidents were
Biden,
Democrats,
Hillary.
and he wasn't outspoken about Trump at all until recently. So I mean, that could tell you a lot, man.
And I also
If you think
would
you're
like
smarter
to,
than them,
I would
hey.
also like to point out the fact that Elon Musk is an immigrant from South Africa. This man got citizenship and really went to the side that was painted to help immigrants, and now he realizes it's all BS because the policies and things they put in place affected his life personally, and he woke up. At what point is everybody gonna wake up to the facts?
I ain't gotta argue no more. We seen after Elon stamped it. Hey, I ain't gotta argue.
Hey, if you're smarter than him, then vote left.
Yeah.
But if you're not, think
I ain't
twice.
gotta argue no more
Guys,
about this.
I'm just gonna say my piece here, and I'm gonna shut up.
Some people
if you want to go to war, you want to have opportunity and inflation and economic despair and all that stuff, and you want to worry about social issues and how people feel, that's more important than the
Red,
reality
blue,
of our
yellow,
everyday
purple.
life and your money and what you can do. Hey, vote left.
Some people actually
if you
believe
want life
that's
to
more
get better.
important than us, worrying about the country looking good.
the gender.
I'm just confused, man. I'm just
Yeah,
lost.
Well, we say, hey, after Elon,
Confusion of the highest
I'm not-
order.
Elon said it.